Old Hercules, or Heracles. I thought I'd go through the labours of Hercules because there's supposed to be 10, but he ended up doing 12, and I'll go through those individually. Now, he was actually supposed to be the rightful heir to the land that he was at, but unfortunately Hera made sure, that was his stepmom, made sure that his cousin was prematurely born, therefore taking the position that Hercules would have had. So anyway, Hercules obviously was annoying people, including Hera, and she decided to turn him a bit mad. So he went round and, believing that he would see monsters, etc., start hacking them to pieces. And then one day he thought the monsters that was in his house were his monsters, but they weren't. They were actually his wife and daughter. So he killed them, and so therefore he wanted to atone for his sin. After Hercules was tricked by his stepmom Hera to kill his own family, he went to the Oracle of Delphi to try and atone for his sins, and the Oracle suggested that he serve Eurystheus. But little did he know that the Oracle was actually being controlled by Hera. So anyway, he went to see Eurystheus, who gave him 10 tasks, which eventually ended up being 12, but I'll cover that later. So the first task was to go and stop a giant lion and kill it. So after a huge battle, he finally won. He managed to strangle this giant lion, and using the lion's own claw, he managed to skin the lion and use the lion's coat as his own armour. So that was the first of the 10/12 labours of Hercules. I'll carry on the next video. The second task for Hercules was to kill a 9-headed hydra, probably bigger than this, more like this size. And this hydra was actually raised by Hera in order to kill Hercules one day. And Hercules took his nephew Aeolus with him to the lake called Leon. I'm terrible at pronunciations. The Hydra actually breathed poison, so it was very difficult for them to fight. Every time Hercules would cut off one head, 2 would grow back in its place. Eventually, Aeolus used his bow and arrow and used fire at the actual cut mark to stop, you sort of cauterize it to sort of stop 2 heads growing up back in its place. Hera then sent a giant crab to help the Hydra. I'll have to finish this off on the next video, it's running out of time. This video is continuing on from the last video regarding Hercules and his second task. Now this one was to kill a Hydra raised by Hera. Now when Hera found out that the Hydra was losing the battle, she sent a giant crab to try and help the Hydra and kill Hercules. That didn't work. Hercules managed to destroy the giant crab with ease. Now to kill the Hydra, they needed to find the one true mortal head. They did it, and when I say they, him and Aeolus. And using the golden sword given to him by his half-sister, he managed to kill the Hydra. He went back to Eurystheus, who then said, that doesn't count, you had help with Aeolus, therefore this task is void. So that's why Hercules ended up with 12 tasks. There's another one later on where he also discounted, so in the end Hercules done 12. This is going to change the way you think of a lot of things. So in Greece, ancient Greece, we had Cyclops, we had many different types of half this and half that creatures, and of course we call them myths. Now these are cylinder seals here that was from Sumerian times, which predate the Greece times, the ancient Greece times, by thousands and thousands of years. And these actually have, for example, here is a Cyclops. So this predates, so this means that the Sumerians actually knew about Cyclopses. Now, there is other cylinder seals that also have half this and half that creatures, including harpies, which really then does prove that, in my opinion, that Enki was messing around with DNA, creating, and that's why Enki ends up being Poseidon, who also then created half this and half that creature.